presentations that you work with your illustrations there. Okay, even though basically at this stage, okay, you might going to have this kind of perceptions that okay, everything that you're going to do has to be look perfect all the times, has to be look precisely the same, okay, as those reference that you guys have been working on there, okay. So and of course, okay, in order to develop your kind of process of working from now on, okay, I have to remind you guys back again, okay, please basically use reference there, okay. They don't say basically I can draw from imagination. Yes, okay, even though you can draw from imaginations, it doesn't mean that in the process of developing your presentations there, okay, our presentation there, even though when I actually present my work for my clients, I didn't give basically only final works there, okay, or maybe my sketches only there, okay. Maybe during the process of discussion, basically we actually just sketch it out some rough ideas from there. But when it comes to make a proper kind of presentations, right, or during those an ongoing kind of discussions, you have to provide some of the reference there, okay. You need to what we call that provide your kind of what we call that some proof, some resources there. All right, where do you get those ideas from? How actually you develop them directly? Because not all clients were smart enough basically to think as what you have in your mind there. So you have to provide some of the resources, some of the reference to what we call that, to support basically your kind of way of working, process of working, your experimentations there, whatever that you have in mind, okay, how actually you develop that kind of design or a character, for example, there, okay, you must provide as much as information as there, okay, to make sure that they understand where basically your kind of way of thinking came from, not only from your precious kind of special creativity that you have basically on imaginations there, okay. Okay, even though basically, okay, some people when they actually met you there, okay, they might going to be praise you a little bit when they saw your works for the first time. All right, don't fall into that trap, okay. Don't fall into that trap there, okay. People praise our works, they show some appreciation, is good, but don't fall into that trap there, right? Why I'm saying that? Because when you fall into that trap, okay, people praise you, okay, oh, you can draw well, okay, I really love your drawings, for example, oh, blah, 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 okay, but you guys can see my screen, right? You can see my screen, is it? My screen sharing. So when people praise us in the first time, it's good to bring our confidence, okay, in those presentations there, but don't fall too much into that trap, right? Because we're going to use that kind of confidence to develop it more further on our effectiveness on our presentations there. So we can give more input on our way of working, why actually we did all this kind of stuff, okay? And then you have to wait for their critical kind of comment there, right? If they don't have any comment at the first stage of sessions, it's okay, because they want to digest, they want to process basically their kind of how actually you develop all these ideas first, right? Okay, yeah, because people might say that, okay, when they saw basically your presentation in the first time, they might going to be amazed then, right? Okay, but as you look into further into your kind of works back again, this is the process of way of presenting and also develop and analyze back again our works there, okay? We have that kind of process that we need to develop there. So I'm going to give you guys as a brief there, right? So we need to see what are the things that we can actually look for improvements. They always have. They always have. That's why if you look some of the works that I've done, most of the works that I've done for demonstrations, I always leave some of the weakness or some of the things that we can improve, right? from the process of developing at that stage there. Let's just say you spend around half an hour, 1 hour, basically 20 minutes on your works, and you still have time to improve more. Okay, not that you're going to submit the final one basically like at that stage there, okay, because it's not the last minute kind of works. If there is no kind of deadline or the deadline are going to be long enough for you guys to nurture, develop more, okay, there always a room for you to change or develop or improvement from there. Always set your mind like that, okay? Prepare your mind like that, okay? Because for me, there is no any kind of perfections in our works there, okay? I don't actually seek for that kind of validation of perfections there, okay? I always look into the improvement that I can do from one illustration to another illustration, one work to another works there, right? Because if I want to focus on the perfections, for some people say, okay, you actually are a perfectionist, no, that right? Maybe that kind of what we call that statement is very subjective for some people there, okay? All the things that they saw quite nice aesthetical values that again they saw basically quite nice in the works of those laymen, all right? It's okay, right? They call it perfection, okay? Perfectionist, okay? I don't actually, right? Okay, I just look for presentables there. They should look presentables there, no matter how bad basically or how worse basically my illustrations are going to be to present it, right? But they has to be look presentable. All right, there has to be look presentables there. Okay. What do we mean by presentables? If you look at these kind of samples over here, right? Is it look presentable to you? Is it look presentable to you? Yes or no? Or no or yes, right? Guys.
Yes.
Why? Why basically? Why you say yes, okay? If you say yes, okay, put on those chat box. If you know, okay, or you have some sort of different kind of answers there, okay, put it on the chat box there first. Guys, put all those chat box there, okay? Yes or no, or you have that different answers there. Come on, Derek. I need more, Derek. Okay, if yes, okay. Why? If no, why, Derek? Okay. Just give some of the answer. I want to hear the answer there for you guys. Okay, from you guys, Derek. Okay. Why you say yes, Derek? I have also different answers there, okay? This is the part of the, this basically is a part of those practice, right? The design practice that you guys also has to basically develop basically your kind of perceptions, okay? When you saw your friends' kind of works or your presentations there. Because in a way, basically, we're going to present our work. Let's just say that, okay, nice shadings, okay, all this kind of thing, okay. You saw basically on the overall kind of look and feels there, right? You saw basically those kind of aesthetical value that based on the whole presentations, right? Okay. But if you take a look closely, there's a few kind of sloppy. There's a few kind of reasons I didn't actually write. Had all those kind of detailings there, okay? Because it had an interesting background, okay, shading, speaking, presenting on the backgrounds, good, okay, you know why about those kind of informations there, because I add those background, for example, that even though, okay, we don't actually have to put, but you can actually put, and I actually encourage you guys to put, okay, for the quality of line, okay, that's good, okay, the shading itself, okay, those other things there, looks clean, look neat there, okay, all these kind of things there. But what if those works that I've done is not look quite clean there? There's a lot of what we call that roughness or textures there, okay? The compositions basically, even though we tried, we actually put a little bit kind of like balance on the principle itself, okay? Because you look into those presentations, okay, in one perspective there, okay? But try to become a bit more critical there, okay? Those are the things, even though it's a process of learning, right? Okay? Look into some of the things that you saw not quite. Can you see here? One of the things that I actually, what we call that, I not accidentally there, okay, but I just leave basically this kind of not quite right, okay, for those kind of selections here, okay. I just leave it there, okay, because I want to basically to show basically, right, okay, I did not want to apply for any kind of perfections there, even though the hairlines, okay, I did not actually draw exactly as what we have from those reference, okay, but I basically just use some of the mixtures of what we actually have learned before, all right, those contour line, sketch line methods and techniques there, okay, to work with our presentations over here. It doesn't mean that the whole thing has to be perfect done, okay, look as similar as the photos. You're going to appreciate those works there, because in design process and develop your design sense there, okay, you must be able to appreciate something that not complete but they look presentable. We have to develop that kind of understanding, process of learning, and also process of accepting those kind of things there. So that's what we call nice, they become aesthetical value there, okay, the words, the right kind of words there, okay. We look into that kind of aesthetical value that plays around with the element and principle of design. This is what actually we look into, all right. Hopefully you guys can learn a bit more detail on what we call the introduction to art, right, okay, theoretical, what we call that lessons on those kind of principle, the element and principle of design more, okay, because you're going to apply on my class at the same time, okay, when you're presenting your works, okay. So the theoretical that can explain about your works there. So that's why, okay, when we as a designer look into those illustrations, we look into those kind of aesthetical value that came from those principles of design, okay. So that's really important there, guys, okay. Don't just look in overall or look nice there. Yes, why basically it looks nice. Ask those questions back again in those aesthetical kind of understanding and design principles, okay. So some of you guys say, okay, the line works, the quality of line, okay, there's a focus point basically, right, okay, the focal point of these illustrations is the face there, right, okay. So I actually kind of focus more on the faces, and the rest of it I try to add a bit kind of a little bit kind of minimal kind of efforts, okay, to develop those textures and shadings there. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. You have to draw the whole line of textures that you want, okay. And I play also with some of the tricks that I don't want to reveal at the moments there, because I don't want to mix up, okay, with a lot of techniques there, and then you don't focus on your core foundations to develop your skill from here. Okay, because I know that you guys learn from image manipulations, kind of what we call it subjects, that you might going to use later on for your illustration works. I will basically reveal them, some of them, in our next lessons, basically, right, especially in digital version. Hopefully there, pray for it there, right? Because all this kind of technical stuff, basically you guys can combine them back again, all right. So those are the things that really important right now when you come to develop your kind of understandings, technical wise and skill based at the same time, all right. Technical and skill based has to be balanced them up, all right. It takes basically so many years that I developed them, and as I told you guys before, I'm still basically learning myself, okay, develop some of the things, some of the new things, okay. So for last 1 or 2 weeks, basically, okay, 1 to 3 weeks, okay, I think, okay, I start over back again on my personal kind of work and project at the same time. Okay, one of them basically that I can share with you guys who basically came from. Okay, I'm working with some sort of like a digital kind of collage there. Okay, so I combining basically because I have a few number kind of ideas and also styles that can approach with multiple kind of platform that I want to work right now. Okay, so I just want to share you guys over here to give you guys a bit kind of ideas and hopefully can inspire a bit more further in you to develop basically your kind of perceptions and exposures, understanding at the same time to go through with your process of learning later on. Okay. So I have a few number kind of, okay, this is one of the experimental kind of works that I did basically for, I think, yesterday, right? Okay. Yesterday I started to develop this kind of works there. All right. So I combining basically those contour line drawings. Remember that, right? So I'm using that kind of foundation drawings there. All right, okay, into my digital kind of works there, right? Okay. This one basically not making profit, guys, okay, yet. Okay. But I planning basically to put into those NFT. Okay, I think next week, hopefully I can actually register completely there, right? Okay. And I planning also to develop a few number kind of works that have different kind of platform, like a different kind of what we call that sense, right? Okay, of aestheticals there, okay, other than this kind of type of styles, okay, to give basically a bit kind of different kind of approach, okay, on my personal kind of interpretation on my works there, right? Okay, those are the things that actually work back again. I kind of doesn't actually work all this kind of stuff quite some time there, guys, because I'm doing some, teaching there, I can also working some of the commercials works a bit there, right? Okay, for some of the things, small projects a bit there, okay, because I don't take those kind of huge project because I don't feel that I can have those time there, okay, to manage my times and also to do a bit kind of research and experiment there, okay, those sort of things there. Because if you want to attach, I try not to attach, right, okay, with some of huge project because they're going to burn some of the times there. Even though the money sometimes is good, sometimes it's not, okay, depending that, okay, on how actually people appreciate and want to go further with the things that, okay, so how actually people going to treat you is based also on how actually you put the values on your works, right? Okay, and it might going to be take some risk from there, but it's okay, right? Okay, if people love your works and if people really appreciate your works, they're going to spend some of those values that you're going to put in your works there, okay, practically there, okay. So don't worry there, okay. If you lose some of the customers, some of the clients, don't worry about that, okay. Because if they really appreciate your times, your efforts, your works, your skills, okay, that you put your kind of blood and sweat on that, okay, people will actually recognize and people will basically appreciate and pay with the right amount of numbers that you can discuss with them, okay. Don't let people, okay, some of the reasons, because for me there, okay, if I'm going to give some of the work for the freelancers there, okay, especially in animations, okay, I know basically how much amount that I can actually put into those kind of works load there, okay. For examples there, okay, I have a few number kind of animations kind of works, okay, that actually didn't actually have that kind of level of anime, manga, One Piece or whatever kind of animation that you saw there, okay. I kind of like have a very light kind of animations, but need more efforts on understanding how to animate and also the principle of animations there. At the same time, they have to have a very good sense of principle of animations there. Okay, so that means they know how to animate, okay, how to bring those characters to life. So, for example, there, okay, in 1 minute, some animations there. It can be around 1,000 1 minute there, okay. Only animations there, guys, not character design, not background design yet. All right, only for doing some servicing in animations only. I provide the characters there, okay. I provide those design there. You have to animate them back again. You might going to be redraw, but you didn't have to think anymore about how to design those characters there, because design kind of what we call that process, all right, stage basically has a price there. You cannot actually include into those animations there, right? Okay, kind of price. You have to be separate there, right? So 1 minute sub animation, for example, I'm going to pay around 1K there, okay, minimum there, okay, based on a certain kind of, we call that projects there, not all that, okay. Maybe sometimes a little bit more simple, a bit more less, but not less than 1K, or not less than at least 800 kind of what we call that ringgits, all right, Malaysian ringgit there, right, or not more than 1K there, okay, depending there, okay, on those detailings there, okay. But 1K basically is a minimum categorized on 1 minute only for make those character move there, okay, animations there, but only to make character move. It doesn't mean that only there, okay. There's a few number kind of principles that you have to apply from those animations, all right. There has to be look lively there, okay, simple as that. Okay, but those design that I create is not that kind of like detailing, like you saw Gundam, you saw Robotech, you saw Thundercats, for example, you saw He-Man, right, okay, all this kind of very detailing kind of characters that have a lot of basically accessories. No, okay. So I'm actually have used this kind of practical kind of way to develop those designs there, okay, especially for animations there, okay, because I know basically we have to spend too much time on animations rather than those designs, okay, because people will intrigue and also will love and exciting, okay, excited with your motions of your animations, okay. The characters are going to be a part of those drive that people will look into more on your animations. But without a very good animations kind of movements, the whole thing are going to be look pale or offbeat from those excitement there, okay, normally. Okay, that's basically what I actually have developed there, okay, for my own kind of what we call that kind of principles and concept of my own designer, okay. You're going to be look at it in the future, okay, hopefully, okay. So those are the things that I actually have in mind there, okay. So for those design itself, illustrations, I have a few number kind of styles that I'm going to produce them back, right, okay. This is one of it that I call digital collage, right, okay. I mixed up with those images there, okay, and sometimes I'm going to mix up also with some 3D modeling that I create there, okay, to develop basically those ideas there, okay. But this one basically were moving kind of images there, okay, moving kind of is for those who actually have seen this kind of videos in my Insta, okay. Basically that's basically those kind of, we call that, those kind of looping kind of animations that I can think for 1 day there, okay. For example, okay, I spent around 1 day to work on it, almost 1 day there, okay, to work on it, slowly develop that, okay. So those are the things there. So when it talks about illustrations, there has a wide kind of range of styles that you guys can develop in the future. Don't worry there, okay. But the only thing is how you develop your skills right now, okay. There's a lot of tips and tricks there, okay. You can combine image manipulations with your drawing skills, right? You learn image manipulation. I saw some of your friends, okay, from Instagram, okay, who actually did some of the image manipulation books. They're quite good there, okay. Okay, so you guys have that kind of understanding there. So from there, try to try to develop more on your personal kind of interpretations on your own works from now on, right? Because everything's about practice, okay. When we experiment some things and then we showcase later on, even though we're not making money at the moment there, because our job basically to promote our work first. No matter how good or no matter how many people are going to be look into your works, first of all, make it consistent. Sometimes we do only one works. Yeah, people say yes, you just try them, right, okay, to provoke a little bit, right, okay, to just show basically her updating on the works, okay. But if you start to doing the whole things, this kind of process, right, okay, this kind of design, for example, for a few number kind of series there, let's just say 10 different series there, people might pay attention a bit from them. What basically you want to do more, okay, people will wait there, right, okay. And of course, if you put enough exposures, sometimes this is the thing that I always do. Right? There's always not quite hate, okay, but kind of a little bit challenging there, okay. Once we actually in our own zone to develop our works there, our experiment kind of work, we have that kind of zone, we have that kind of moment that we enjoy basically the process of developing and showcase that, right, okay, and promote them. Suddenly there, okay, a phone call, or maybe some text message there, or maybe some chat box message there, okay, on your social media. People might going to be asked for some of the commercial works there, right? Okay, because you have to understand one thing. If people don't actually, what we call that, click to those like button, it doesn't mean that people don't look at your progressions there. So don't seek for any validation, any like or whatever. You just showcase that, okay? Don't give a damn about whatever that people want to think about it first. Just enjoy the process of working there. Explore yourself. Let people know what do you do there, right, okay? Other than you put some selfie, for example, right, okay? Right now I put a lot of memories of my kids together there, right, okay? All those kind of things because of this COVID pandemic there, right? Okay, kind of situations there. But balance them up, all right? And I know basically my kind of, we call that, my kind of existence in social media, no, for me basically is more like an amusement park there, right, okay? The playground there, right, okay, for me there. So I didn't actually have any kind of serious kind of, sometimes we can put some emotions, but I don't take any serious on that, okay? But sometimes we can actually motivate people, so we have to tease people a little bit, okay, poke people there, okay, troll sometimes, okay, have fun with it. And I notice, okay, if I put some sort of like very provocative kind of things that actually I've done, basically, okay, just to have fun with it, people start to pay attention there. But when it comes to the work, sometimes either people don't understand and people afraid basically to get into that kind of world there, right? But it doesn't mean that people doesn't actually look into your work and follow basically silently your kind of progressions there. Think about that, okay? Always be more positive and also determined about this kind of situations there. Don't seek for any value. Don't give a damn about it there, okay? So you just do your own things, develop it in the right way, focus more how actually you're going to analyze them back. Because when I actually look at the words, okay, one of the things that I always have in my mind, okay, when I look at it, okay, oh, why is it boring there, okay? I saw basically on my presentation sometimes, right, okay, no more better than this one, okay. So that's kind of feeling will give you, you're not actually attached too much on those kind of visuals there, but you appreciate your works there. You know basically how to protect them, right? But you don't actually, right, just hold yourself into that kind of moment too long, and you want to find more and more and more from there. That's what makes exciting there, okay? Excitement, okay? And I love basically to look into most of the works, okay, from other people's there, to give me basically more kind of inspirations there, okay, to do a bit on mine there, okay, but in my own way, okay, in my own way there, okay. Those are the things there. So I'm using basically the foundations, the fundamental kind of elements together, combined with some of the technologies that I've learned, especially on 3D modeling there. Even though I didn't animate them basically from those 3D kind of platforms, but I'm using different kind of what we call application like Adobe After Effects there, okay, to animate them. So those are the things that I've done there, okay. So basically it's a part of this process of developing, experimenting, and improve your kind of ideas, guys. Okay? People won't be able to understand sometimes what you do there, okay. And when people doesn't want to understand or any explanations, don't give them. Simple as that. Okay. When people ask you, yes. When people put some interest on your works, they might going to talk about your works. I've seen that, okay. Some of the things that I've done there previously, there, okay. When people actually look into my works, they start to interpret them. Whatever they have in mind, they can read them back before I'm going to explain them. That's basically the value that you can add from there. People can explain them back. When people say they don't understand, right? And they have that kind of very inferior kind of feeling there, right? Okay, and they want to know more. Okay, don't explain. Don't explain that, right? Okay. You know basically where basically they're going to be came from and out from there, right? Okay. And even though from your closest friend or even though from your kind of people actually have lived and close to you there, right? Okay. Simple as that. You can see basically people kind of attention there. If they really interested on your works, they can explain more further there. They will appreciate more further from there. Those are the things there. And that kind of people, we can actually talk a little bit on your kind of perspective directly on your works there. Okay. So I always love to see, I love always, okay, my kind of way of presenting my work, even though I put some statements sometimes directly, I would love to see that people can interpret back again according to what I think. That will make basically the visual communications works together, right? How to interpret that, right? That's the thing, right? So when people can see your angers, your frustrations, your kind of moaning, right? Whatever that you have, right? It's good there, okay? Because whatever that you felt, okay, when you come to interpret your design, it will come from emotions, your passions, your kind of psychologist kind of thinking there, okay? Your kind of what we call that, directions that you want to go from there. Layman will saw all these kind of emotions sometimes, okay? Layman, okay? But people who actually study basically designs, they will interpret more better on your works directly. So let them interpret them and you focus on your kind of process of experimenting, your kind of techniques. Simple as that. Okay, but you can combine them all together later on, okay, to explain it more further. Okay, so it will come basically naturally to work on that, but don't avoid those principles of design kind of understanding that works here. All right, guys. So here's the thing that, okay, that I can share with you guys first before you're going to continue then, okay, on your works there. Whatever that you guys working right now is one of the stage to develop basically your kind of what we call that skills there and your understanding, your exposures at the same time. Right? I want you guys to open up your mind to have a wide range kind of what we call that options that in your life. Okay, there has to be a purpose. Okay, I want to do like this, I want to do like that, right? Okay, and go through with it and work with the process of working correctly there. All right, even though we cannot go through the whole process entirely for 14 weeks, okay, but you can mix them around all together and combine some of the information that you can grab from outside also, okay, to combine with your understanding and knowledge during the process of learning. It has to be like that. They're not going to be enough to see from there unless we have a full courses of illustration, diploma in illustrations there, okay, and digital imaging. For examples, we can there, okay. I hear basically from my beloved, our beloved kind of dean, okay, a good friend also at the same time, okay, how you see that, right? She's want to plan to do those kind of, but I don't know when basically, okay, they're going to be there, okay, on those what we call that, on that kind of courses there. It's quite hard basically to develop that, okay, because we cannot, we don't want to basically can mix around them all together there, okay. But I will give you guys bit kind of exposures from time to time, okay, how you can actually manage to find your own kind of language, your kind of weapons there to develop your illustration about. This is the one basically everyone need to develop that first, okay, the core foundations there to develop your kind of skills there to control your pressures at the same time, okay, and learn to manage basically some of the technical what we call that tools that, okay, that can develop that kind of ideas or visuals there correctly, okay, and mix them around later on, okay. So those are the things here. So right now, okay, before we're going to continue them, I'm going to ask back again, who actually going to volunteers here? Huh? Anyone want to volunteer here? Anyone? Where's Nathaniel there? Nathaniel there, right? Okay. Nathaniel, are you okay there, right? Anyone there? Or I have to call names there. Anyone want to share your screen? Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Cheng Xian. You want to share screen? Cheng Xian? All right, Cheng Xian, please share your screen. I want to see basically, okay, how actually you develop that kind of ideas from here on our project 2. Okay, what are the progressions that we can have from there? All right, Cheng Xian, prepare your screens. We have around 1 hour there, right? Okay, works on that. Maybe half an hour is there, right? Okay, half an hour is there. So I'm going to spend half an hour there. Another half an hour is basically going to demonstrate a bit, right? Okay, if I saw some of the things that we can actually improve there, okay, from your presentations, from your demonstrations there. Cheng Xian, are you ready? Guys, open up your webcam for a while there, guys. I want to see your face. Open up your webcam there, guys, so I can see your face there. Right, open up everyone there, right, so I can see your face. So we got King Chong's over there, Jin Wei, all right, Jashin there, right, okay, Yu Song over there, Mei Wei, Hui Ping. King Xian, are you ready or not there, right? Respond to me.
Wait a minute.
Okay, good there, right, okay. Thank you there, Ching Xian, okay, so we wait for Ching Xian, okay. By the rest of you guys there, okay, Jia Yi, Chi Sam there, okay, Qiu Feng, Qin Ying, Zhen Xiang, Sandra, Xin Yi, Jin Hui, and the rest of you guys, where were you there? Open up your webcam for a while, I guess, then we can close them back, right? Okay. Right, we have a Yuji over there, Xin Ying, Xin Hui there, right? Okay, good, okay, Sandra over there, right? Zhen Xiang. All right, Chi Sam there, right? Anyone have taken those vaccines? Any one of you guys have taken those vaccines there? You guys are 18 there, right? Huh? Yeah, that's right. I'm waiting for my daughter to take those kind of vaccines there, because she's going to turn 18 this year there. Right? So she's going to further studies actually at Penang, but I'm afraid they're going to be online sessions only for this year there, right? We have Chongzi over there, right? Mei Wei, how is it, those assignments right now? Right, those assignments, other subjects, how does it feel there? What kind of big assignments that you guys have? Any big assignments there you guys have right now? Any big assignments you guys have right now? Art director, introduction to art.
Yes.
Yes.
What are you guys doing there? Poster design?
Hero poster design.
Oh, hero posters design, right? Okay, yeah. All right, next week we're going to give you guys a brief, okay? And also, but our project 3 are going to be, I'm not going to be provide the material for you anymore for project 3, okay? You have to find your own reference there. So I'm going to give you guys some of the brief that basically can guide you, okay? But they are going to be a process. Okay? We have around 3 weeks there, 3 weeks to complete this kind of final project, okay? The third project, right? So you guys will need basically to develop basically those ideas first before you're going to present, okay? Mei Wei, I saw basically some of the drawings there, right? Okay, right here. Where were you there, right? Okay, this is your home, is it? Or cafe? Or no?
This is
Reference there,
background.
right? Okay, effect the background there, right? Okay. I thought basically it's your home there, right? Okay. So, okay, we're going to have three-stage of what we call that progression stage each weeks, okay, before you finalize that. All right, before you finalize that. So the first week, gather information there first. Okay, we're going to gather information there first, okay, about our illustrations there. So the two different elements that we're going to use there, okay, human and animals there, human and beast there, okay. So those basically the thing, the two elements there, okay. So that we're going to do. Either you're going to use your own face, or you're going to use your own kind of what we call that reference as a self kind of interpretations, right? And then you can combine with some of the animals or beasts that represent you there basically. Okay, those are basically the rough brief there, okay, that I can give you guys there, right? I already put it on my kind of we call that plannings there, but I don't want to release back yet there, okay? We'll focus more on our project 2 there first, especially on the stroke itself there. Where basically, okay, our friends over here. Jing Shen. Where were you there, right? Jing Shen?
Right. No, don't worry.
All right. Don't worry. I'm not worried there, okay? I'm waiting. We're waiting there. We're waiting for you there, okay? To answer that. All right. So, all right, guys, thank you very much there. Okay, you guys can close basically your webcam there, okay? Nice to see you guys here. So, I want to share also my screen over here. All right, hopefully our screen sharing that combined together, we can actually manage to see from there, right? Okay. All right, Chen Xiang, we're waiting for you. So let me actually put some tunes on that first. Hopefully this music basically is not going to be claimed as a copyright there, right?
So actually, how to let the picture become black and white?
Black and white there, okay? One of the way that I always use, okay, some people actually just select to the wolf characters there, right? Layers there. You have to select first to the wolf layers there, okay?
Yes,
Okay, one of the way basically I saw some people they use, okay, I think they right click basically, okay, but I haven't actually used that kind of methods there before. But what I can do basically, okay, go to image on the top of the layers there. On top of those screen there, okay, go to adjustment. All right, gradient map.
Gradient map, okay.
Yeah. Okay. This is one of the way that I always do that, guys, okay? Some of you guys learn from image manipulation, different kind of methods, okay? Which can be applied also, okay? But this is the thing that I always do, okay? So I can change basically the colors over here if I want to, right, okay? So I maintain basically this kind of grayscales, all right?
Okay.
Then you can actually mix them around if you want to. Experiment if you want to there, guys, okay? But I use as simple as I can, okay, to manage to work on that. And then I'm going to reduce the opacity if I have to. Can I see basically your images over here there, okay, first? Okay, this kind of wolf basically came from landscape format there, okay? It's a landscape format there.
Landscape or
so you have to change basically from portrait into landscape there first. Image there, okay? Image there, okay? Go to image there, okay? Cancel.
image.
All right. Go to canvas size.
Canvas size.
All right, and then change here. Okay, from pixels there again, set into inches there, right? All right, when you set up your file, this now, okay, 8 by 11, so okay, change that. Okay, the width are going to be 11. All right, and the height are going to be 8.
Oh.
This is basically one of the simplest method I actually use there, guys, okay, to work on that. I'm not actually very technical kind of people there, okay? Click OK. Proceed.
Oh.
Now, basically, the backgrounds, okay, okay, you can change it to white color back again. Okay, right here, there, okay. You click Control and Backspace. If you use basically PC there, okay. Click Control and Backspace together there, right?
Okay.
This is basically one of the shortcut way basically I'm using to work on that. Okay. All right. Now you can actually select basically the blue spot that you actually click just now. Basically, is what we call that. It's a crop tool that you use there. Okay. Delete back again. Just delete them, right? Okay. Can you delete them?
How I don't know
Okay,
this.
click it, right? Okay. Click and delete them, right?
Okay.
No, that not that one there, right? Okay. Can you click, okay, basically where is it? That crop buttons over here. You just can click to the layers there, okay? Click to the layers there, right? Okay, let me, right. Just click to the blue buttons over here using move tool there, right? Okay, or selection tools there, right? Okay, and delete there, right? You actually click to the wolf layers there, okay? I get that, right? Okay, delete there, right? Yeah. All right.
Oui.
Why
Okay.
they appear basically, okay? Just click to the brush button, brush basically back again. Just delete there, okay? Simple as that.
Okay.
Okay.
So this.
Don't forget to save your files there, right? Okay, first. Don't forget to save your files. Week 10, project 2, your name.
Oui.
Why hanging?
I don't know. I cannot. Okay. Cancel.
Can you click to don't show again?
Why? Ayo.
Turn off the maximum compatibility first, okay? Click OK.
No.
If cannot, okay, just try to click escape there, okay?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay. First.
Now we can reduce the opacity there first, and then you start to draw on the layer 1 there, right?
Oh. Okay.
Can I show your resolutions there first? Go to image,
Image.
image size.
Image size.
Okay, good, all right. Okay,
11.
cancel there, right? Cancel there, right?
Okay.
All right, right now, what kind of brushes that you use here?
Wait. Oh, this.
Okay, all right. Do you have basically those pressure point there, right? Okay, from those brushes there. Can you draw them? The line works over here. Because I don't see any kind of pressure point there, I can see.
What's
Did you install the driver? Did you
Why?
install the driver there, right?
Already installed it. Why?
Normally have, huh?
Have a suddenly got problem like this?
Okay, if there is problem, okay, save the files there first, close them, and open them back again, okay? Close Photoshop, okay? Exit Photoshop and open that back again, Photoshop there.
Right.
Okay, try first, all right? Okay,
Okay.
Attention there, right?
Yes.
Why don't you actually, right, enlarge a little bit on your wolf images, enlarge a bit, right? Scale them, right? Scale.
What?
Take the wolf, scale a bit more bigger, there, right? Scale, not enlarge, right? Just scale them, right? Click to the wolf layer there, right? Transform your wolf size into a bit more bigger there, right? Okay, he's too small there, right?
Transform the wolf size.
Transform there, right? Control T. Right.
Oh,
Scale there, okay? Click Shift and scale there, right?
maximum.
Be more bigger there, right?
Okay, yes.
All right. And then start to draw. Save your file back again. Control S to save your files, right?
Control S.
Control S key there, okay, to save your files, okay, and then you start to redraw. Start to work on that, right? Okay, zoom in a little bit when you want to draw them. Okay. This is your sketch or maybe your drawing?
This is
Drawing,
drawing.
Why look very rough there, right? Okay. Try to draw properly there, right? Control the brushes, right? And get the confidence line at the same time. This kind of line over there. Don't draw the outline there, right? Okay. Draw the whole structures there. Don't draw the outline only there, okay? When you draw the outline only there, okay, you capture the outline, you might going to trace them, not drawing them. Okay, remember that, right? I'll actually draw using those pencils, apply them back, but using the right methods that works. Are you sure what you're doing there? Did you saw my demonstration that I did when I actually draw this wolf in my YouTube? I didn't draw like that, okay?
Very fast.
All right, even though when I actually draw basically human face there, okay? Try and look into how actually I move my hands when I draw them. Okay, when I move my strokes there, right? Okay? This is basically from your friend demonstrations there, right? This is basically our study last week if I want to work on that. But right now we try to draw on top of it back again.
Okay.
Can you see my screen over here?
Can you see
my screen over there? Okay, wait out there, okay? This is my screen, right? Can you see? Yes. Can you saw basically how I actually construct those kind of drawing line there, okay? For this wolf. Can you see?
Can I can see.
Right. Okay. Even though you want to draw the sketch line drawings, yes, Okay, if you want to look a little bit more roughness, okay, there, okay, but there has to be look a bit kind of that aesthetical kind of understanding when you draw those strokes there, okay, according to those reference, okay.
Okay.
Okay, work on that.
Rough.
Look carefully to your reference when you draw. Don't just simply try to trace them there, okay. Move your drawings line according to those texts of your subject matters. All right, Jing Xian, okay, why don't you change your brushes into pencil brushes back again and try to sketch using those kind of pencil brushes there first. Pencil brushes there, okay? Yes, that one there, right? Pencil hard brushes there, right? Yes. Okay, delete the whole thing and redraw back again.
Okay.
Okay, start to draw back again, Aaron.
Okay.
Sketch properly there, right? Zoom in a little bit, Raki, if you have to. Zoom in a little bit, Raki, more if you have to, if you want to add a bit more kind of understanding on those detailings there when you sketch it out. Look carefully to your reference when you draw as detailed as you can there, right? Because there is a full line that you actually can construct on these drawings there, on this subject matters there, right? You saw just now my drawings there, okay? Try to adapt them back. And then use your own kind of way to interpret them. Okay? I did basically share also those drawings in our Google Classroom there, right? Okay? You guys can use as a reference there. If you guys can see my screen over here, hopefully, right, okay, the screen not going to be recorded there, okay. Okay, take a look there, guys, okay, how actually I draw those full lines, okay. Right now, I'm using different kind of reference there. So, but how actually I move my hands when I draw there, right? Okay, according to the shadows and shades. Basically, it's a lot of way basically to draw there, okay, but I saw what actually you've been working on just now, okay, but not quite correct, okay, to develop your kind of drawing skills. Okay, that's basically I saw there, okay. Look carefully how actually I draw them there. It's all about how to improve your drawing skill deficits. Okay, I'm using pencil brushes that works on that. Even though we can draw the whole structures there, guys, yes, of course you can, right? Okay, the whole structures there first. But look carefully to your reference while you draw them. Okay, because these activities basically what we're trying to do here, to improve more first on the way that you're going to draw them, improve more on your skills to develop your kind of how actually you're going to handling the tools that fits. It's not all about tracings that we call about that right now already. How actually you're going to develop basically your understanding there by applying basically those kind of sketch line styles there, okay? Those etchings at the same times, okay, to work with your kind of illustrations here. Because not all people basically really can develop their drawing skills, okay? Traditionally, they're right, okay? Traditionally, they're right, okay? So what I do right now, basically, I'm going to be taught you guys using basically the tools, there, okay? The computer tools, there, right? We can basically redevelop our understanding there. how to control our drawing skills, how to develop our drawing skills by using this kind of technologies there. It's not all about basically, all right, oh, you can actually draw on top of the layers with tracings. It's quite easy, okay? If there is easy way there, okay, to trace according to what you saw, why you actually still not doing the right way there, right? Why basically you still not doing the right way? Ask that questions back again. Why basically you cannot draw exactly what you saw from what you actually have been experienced in my class over here? Why? Because the key point is right now, it's not tracing them, but improve, okay, change the size, okay, improve basically your kind of way to control those kind of tools by using basically drawing techniques. You see that, right? I mixed up around my kind of methods with those fast contour line styles there, right? Sketch lines techniques. Okay, how actually I draw these areas there, because I saw the shadows, line and textures over here. Okay, so that's why I am actually using this kind of strokes there, okay, back and forth kind of strokes there to work on that. But my hands basically were smooth and also like a liquid there, okay, when I actually draw those there. See how I draw those fur line, because this animal had a fur line, even though you draw basically just now the body there, okay, the body there, right? Okay. See how actually I mixed up around those kind of methods there. Press a little bit and release, but at the same time I'm controlling the quality of line over here. All right, take a look there, right? Okay, it's a rough kind of line works there, okay, but it shows basically the quality of line, okay, the techniques, all the methods all together right here. I didn't draw like this, all right, just now you draw like this one there, right? For what basically? Okay, because you saw basically the fur line carefully when you draw them, right? Especially for the animals. Even though I draw quite fast, okay, it doesn't mean that you have to follow these methods if you don't actually control. You cannot control basically your kind of what we call the hands yet, okay? You can draw a bit more slowly there like this. And of course, your hands are going to be pain a little bit, okay, and cramp a little bit, okay, for certain kind of times there. But basically, that's a part of those processes there, guys. In order for you guys to develop that kind of understanding over here, compress a little bit, control the pressure at the same time there, right? Okay, when I want to mix up there, okay, with this kind of line, with this kind of what we call the textures and shadows there. Change the size. We add a bit kind of details there. I don't look into those kind of reference as a part of those my access to a trace there, right? But it's a part of those accesses, okay, that I actually can improvise my line at the same time and control the pressures and improve basically my understanding when I want to draw them there. You see that, right? I didn't actually follow exactly. I didn't actually trace the whole thing, but I'm using as a part of my guide that I get to work on that. See, complete some of the elements, some of the areas before you're going to draw other things there, right? Change the size, control the pressures to add some shadows there a bit. I can mix around all together when actually I have developed that kind of understanding there. So you control a little bit more, right? Okay, on the shading there. I saw basically Nathaniel just blend a little bit on those solid structures, the solid shadows there, without try to blend with some of the half-tone kind of shadows, okay, from what he did basically on those kind of women drawings there, okay, women kind of subject matters there, okay. Try to blend a little bit basically, okay, using multiple kind of size of your brush strokes, but still using the not mixed up those directions too much, but still using the directions of flows of those hairline. All right. Then if I want to use basically back again those ink and pen, okay, ink and pen, okay, brushes, okay, I can add some of the details there if I want to. This is why the reason I mixed up those kind of drawings there, okay, with those kind of brushes here. I can use also white colors there, get some highlights over here, see? Okay. And of course, okay, this white colors doesn't work if there doesn't have any backgrounds over there. So what we call that, mixed up with those kind of techniques and methods, okay, it's one of the earliest stage that you guys can actually learn how to use a mixed media on your presentations. You see what we call mixed media there, guys. All right, that's why you guys learn multimedia there. So I can actually use also this white brush and white colors there for my pencil brushes there, right? Okay, I can use them, right? Okay? So I paint a little bit right here first. Some of the areas over here. Right here a little bit there first, right? Okay? Even though you cannot see there, right? Okay? From your naked eyes there, okay? But you look closely there, okay? There is basically some shadings there, okay? And shade, what we call that highlights basically for those, this part basically, okay? Right? Zoom in, zoom out a little bit, right? So when you actually try to mix them up there, right, okay, the result of those value when you're presenting are going to be different than the realistics there, okay, that you thought that you want to apply there, okay, because we don't actually focus on tracings there, but we're using as a part of our guideline to work with our drawings there, okay, our illustrations over here. Right now, okay, you can see basically right here, there, right? So what I can do right here, I'm going to add another layers. Don't forget to save your files. Soft brushes there, right? Okay. Now I'm going to use some backgrounds there. Change the size, right? If you can basically, right, okay, change a little bit on those flows later on, okay, it's much more better there, right? Can you see that, right? That kind of images basically start to pop up there, right, okay, from my presentations. Right, it's not finished, okay, but this is a part of it that you guys can actually see basically the process before you're going to apply them. Right? Reduce the opacity, the flows. Okay, this is basically the background there, right? Okay, the process of developing it, guys. Okay, there's much more that we have to do from here. But what I want to show you guys, how I managed to develop my strokes there, right? Okay, drawing strokes over here. Okay, by mix them around all together, okay, and develop more expressive kind of movements. At the same time, we still apply those kind of principle in this kind of process of working. All right. Okay, guys. Okay, continue there, okay? Shen, I want to see that, right? Shen?
Oh, okay, okay. Yes.
Try to press a little bit, right, okay, on your strokes while you draw them.
Huh?
Try to press a little bit on your strokes.
Try to press.
Don't be afraid there, okay, to move a little bit more further on those kind of strokes there. I think your line quite loose there, right? Okay, very light there, right? Okay, just like you're afraid to move a bit more further on your strokes there, right? Okay.
Oh, afraid
Afraid, huh?
not confident still.
Not confident. Okay, develop those confidence there. Okay, we can see from here there. Okay, Chen Chen. That's
Yes.
why we have here right now. Okay, we want to develop those confidence there. The more that you draw, the more you're going to develop those confidence there. Okay. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Okay, I make a lot of mistakes while I draw there. Okay, but you have to worry there. Okay, you can erase them if you want to. There, right? Because it's part of those process that you need to find yourself when you draw. Okay, you're doing good. Okay, you can draw basically using this kind of methods there. But the thing is, you have to develop more confidence from there.
Confidence. Okay.
Yes, just like playing games there. Just like you're playing sports there. Okay, if you play badminton or sports or whatever there. Okay, you want to develop that confidence there. When you actually start to learn about the techniques there at the same time. Don't be afraid to draw those full line there, okay? Move your hands back and forth there, okay, when you draw them there. Let the flows of your hand go smoothly there, okay, when you draw the strokes there.
Smooth.
Yeah. Try to feel with your wrist, okay? Your wrist when you draw there, okay? Anyone that didn't call name yet, there, right? Yusong here, Yusong?
Yeah. Wait, sir, do you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Chisum is here. Chisum is here, Chisum.
Yes.
All right. Shin Hui.
Yes.
Okay, Shin Yi. Xinyi is here, Xinyi?
Yes, yes.
All right. So Xin Ying is here, Xia Xin Ying. And Tio Jia Xin there, right? Just now I already clicked there, okay? Suddenly, okay, those kind of what we call that. It's basically off a little bit back again. Try not to apply only those outline there, okay? Those strokes outline only there. You saw basically some shadows that can apply from your drawings on those, what we call that? Okay, from the shades, okay, of those fur there, okay? You can actually draw those kind of shadows there, okay? Using basically your strokes there, right? You saw basically I draw those lines just now there, right? I didn't actually draw the outline only there, okay? But I draw some of the strokes of the textures from those kind of legs there, okay? For example, yeah, like that, right? Okay? Draw them, right? Okay? You can increase also the size of your brushes at the same time, okay? You add some shadings along the way, but you change them back the sizes of your brushes point there, okay? When you want to add some of the detailings there, okay? Back again. Okay? So we kind of actually mixed up all those kind of process all together to make sure we can actually complete some of the areas that we want to draw there, okay? Look carefully to those pores there, right, okay? Shapes, structures there when you draw them. You can mix that with the contour line drawing techniques, okay? When it comes to draw that kind of elements there. Now you're not sure basically, okay, how actually you're going to draw them, say, right?
Yes.
But I did basically show on the demonstrations there, right? How actually I draw this kind of elements over here. Just go through back again there, right?
Okay.
I did show basically on my demonstrations there, on my YouTube there, right? You see the line works that you produce right now is very light, very soft, there, right? Okay. It doesn't have any tone at the same time, doesn't have any quality of line there. Can you see that?
Yes.
Mm.
Aiyo.
Why are you there, right? Nothing there, okay? It means you didn't practice much there, right? So you need practice more there, okay? So you need to practice more to develop basically your kind of courage and also your kind of braveness there, okay? When it comes to drawing, okay? It's a part of the process there, right? Okay, to work on that. All right. So make sure right now, okay, from now on, basically, okay, whatever that you're going to do, need to improve more on your kind of drawing stroke. At the same time, build up those confidence while basically you draw them, right? Okay? Because this is a process that everyone should basically, right? Okay, improve more further, okay, in order to develop your kind of understanding. At the same time, okay, you need to deliver basically the right kind of what we call that quality of works, which is can apply those quality of lines together there, okay? So you saw basically some of the things that I've done right now there, okay? So I didn't actually focus too much on those kind of detailings there, but it presented well there, okay? It can be more presentable, okay? And I know I can do more better than this one there, okay? I can do more better than that I supposed to do right now there, okay? But I didn't push further because why? I know basically, okay? I have to show a little bit kind of examples that only there in order for you guys to follow them, okay? You don't have to basically to add a lot of details there, but you can emphasize some of the areas that you want to develop that kind of understanding while you draw them. Okay? You can see basically how I draw the pose, okay? So I sketch some of the line at the same time, okay? All those kind of things will basically are going to help you guys to build up a bit more kind of understanding by following first my kind of methods, my kind of techniques, my kind of what we call that flows there, okay? and then you can improvise them. For those who really can draw well, who have that kind of understanding and skills, you guys can move furthermore there, okay, in order to develop more advanced kind of look and feel on your kind of works there, okay. But for the starting there, okay, if those who cannot draw well, you need to develop more understanding there, okay. You need to build up that kind of first step to develop your skills by working with the kind of stroke difference, okay. Develop the confidence while you draw the strokes there, okay. There has to be look confidence when you draw. You can feel basically from your kind of movement when you draw them. But my tip is you have to draw a lot, look a lot, and try to analyze and digest the process of developing this kind of understanding from here. All right, guys? So work on that. All right, King. So if you don't have any kind of what we call that inquiries there, okay, or maybe later on you want to develop, you want to ask me anything there, okay, or share some of the progressions, please basically, okay, upload in our group WhatsApp there, okay, group WhatsApp, guys. All right. So I see you guys next round, okay, next week, and good luck also, and improve more on your drawing skills from now on. You guys can see there, okay, from what actually, right, our friend here, Cheng Xian, actually have shared. Thank you very much, Cheng Xian, for sharing directly. So at least we can see the struggles that some of us basically have been show basically, okay, been actually experienced right now, okay. So I believe that some of you guys also have that kind of struggles there. So the thing is, you have to practice more. You have to enjoy more in the process, okay. We don't actually learn something from traditionals, okay, entirely there, okay, that quite very difficult, more difficult from here there, okay. Right now, I give you guys a more kind of what we call that easier path basically to develop your skills. Okay, this is one of the methods that I actually create to make some sort of easier path there, okay, but not that quite easy there, okay. You saw basically right now. Some of you guys said, okay, oh, why actually we tracing them, okay, we draw on top of the layers there, okay. But did you actually can apply the same method that I actually have been showed there, right? That's the questions there. If you still can't work on that, that means you need to develop your skill from here. You need to develop your skill from this technique first before you're going to learn any advanced kind of methods and techniques in the future. All right, before you're going to develop them, okay? Because you have to develop first your core kind of understanding here right now. Your fundamental have to be strong first right here. All right, the way that move your hands basically need to improve there. Okay. So thank you very much, guys. I see you guys, okay, next week, okay, hopefully they're okay. So stay safe, okay, and also be more careful, okay, and also good luck with your project too, and all the best, okay. Have a good weekend at the same time, guys. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Okay, bye-bye. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
your progression, okay, in our WhatsApp groups, okay. Bye-bye. Thank you, there, right.
Thank you, sir.